Over the past weeks, I've received quite a lot of emails and comments asking practically the same thing. Kemi, how do I start immigrating to Canada and how much does it really cost? If you're planning to immigrate to Canada in 2026 and you need a realistic step-by-step process of what it takes and the cost and everything in between without hype or confusion, this video is for you. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kemi and this channel is called Rooted and Real with Kemi. On this channel, I talk about honest conversations on immigration, life after landing in Canada, navigating the ups and downs and everything, trying to find my way here in Canada, especially as an immigrant woman. On this channel, it's all about being honest, what it takes, and also to see how others can benefit or gain one or two things from my own experience. Just a disclaimer here, I'm not an immigration agent or a consultant. Everything that I share on this channel is based on lived experience, research, and actually what works. So before we go ahead, let me say a big happy new year to everyone. Happy 2026 is an amazing thing to see that we are all alive, and I hope and I pray that all of us this year will be a fantastic one for us all. And to all my subscribers, thank you for being patient with this girl. I know I've not been, because of a lot of things going on, but this 2026 we all hope that everything works out fine. So welcome again to Rooted and Real with Kemi. But before we go on, then please hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. So let's go on for a ride today. Today's video is for professionals and skilled people that are trying to immigrate to Canada in 2026, and also for families that are trying to budget realistically, and also for people that are tired of the conflicting and misleading immigration advice that are out there. So if you're looking for shortcuts, miracle promises, this video may not be for you. But if you want clarity, realistic clarity, and step-by-step guidance and preparation, please stay with me. Before you spend any money, you need to understand what are the main pathways to come to Canada. Canada has a lot of immigration pathways, but I'll be talking about the main ones through which skilled immigrants come to Canada. And these are the express entry, usually for skilled workers. We also have the provincial nominee program. That was a pathway with which I came to Canada, also known as the PNP. And we have the study, work, PR route. So before you contact any agent or give anybody your money, you need to find out, where do I realistically fit? Because the number one mistake that a lot of people do is that they start by paying money to agent instead of starting with eligibility. You need to find out, what pathway am I most suitable for? What pathway am I most eligible for? And for all these different pathways, they have different costs, different timelines, and different stress levels. So don't make the mistake that most people make by starting out with agents. Sit down, assess yourself, and find out, what am I most eligible for? And that will guide you as to the main pathway which is realistic for you to come through. So let's start up with the mandatory startup cost. Number one on that list is the test of language, which I know a lot of us know about, like the IELTS, the PT called the CELPIP, or the TEF or TESAF for French language test. So for the different language tests, you need to find out how much it is, because they have different prices, but usually in Canadian dollars is between 300 to 350 Canadian dollars. Because there are a lot of people watching from different countries, I may not be able to put the specific amount in our local currency, but in Canadian dollars, most an average test of language IELTS is between 300 to 350 Canadian dollars. The second on the list is your educational credential assessment, also known as the ECA. The common one that we all know about is WES, but there are different ECA organizations depending on your career or your profession. For instance, myself as a pharmacist, I did my ECA via the PEBC, the Pharmacy Board. And for doctors, they have theirs for different professions, but the major one that a lot of people use is the WES. You also have ICAS as well. So you need to find out how much it is for the type, depending on your profession, like I said, that will evaluate your credentials and all that. Usually for WES in Canada is between $200 to $250. So that should be set aside. For if you're coming through, if you intend to go through the express entry pathway, you see your ECA and your IELTS. Those are core that are unavoidable, that are non-negotiable costs that you need to factor in. The next compulsory cost that you need to consider is the government fees. Usually the government application fees and biometric fees. So for an individual, application fees is around 1,365 Canadian dollars, and biometrics about 85 Canadian dollars. So police clearance, as well as medicals and other documents, maybe you need to notarize and all that, your documents or translations, if it's not in English or French, is another cost you need to put into your budget when factoring your immigration cost. So realistically, excluding proof of funds, an individual, depending on your family size, is about 3,000 to 6,000 Canadian dollars. But all these varies depending on your family size. But remember, this is excluding proof of funds. Now let's clarify proof of funds, because a lot of people still misunderstand this even up to now. So proof of funds is not a fee per se, it's not a fee, but it's an amount of money you need to have in your bank account to show to the government that you have something enough to sustain you for the first few months when you arrive in Canada. But for me, if you take my advice, is that always have something, budget more than this proof of funds, because sincerely you need that. Because right now in Canada, the cost of living has gone up, and a whole lot of essentials, utilities and all that, groceries, all that has gone up. So don't just limit yourself to the proof of funds that the government tells you to show, but always plan to have more than that in your savings. So that will guide you towards a realistic preparation right now, because that is very essential. If you're trying to come to Canada in 2026, this is what smart and realistic preparation looks like. Number one for me is that get your ECA done as early, as soon as possible. Number two, get your test of language or IELTS, whichever you choose to do, get it done as soon as possible. And what I tell people is that max it as much as possible. Number three, once you've done all this, create your express entry profile as soon as you can. I'll give you an example. I hope that she won't mind me sharing it. One of my subscribers, we became close, and she had in a before, she started following me, she had a score over 380 something CRS score, but I guided her to what to do to improve her scores, which eventually became 462. And so when they did healthcare draw, for I can't remember the month, in 2022 was the last quarter of 2026, the cutoff was 462. So we're all happy that wow, finally she was going to get the ITA. But what at the end of the day, what cut her off was this tie break timing. From they dated it back to December 2023, and she created her express entry profile January 2024. It was quite painful, sincerely quite painful. If it wasn't the tie break, of course she would have gotten her IT now. She followed what I advised her to do, and I hope that realistically this year, by God's grace, you should get something. So what I'm trying to say with this story, giving an example of one of the subscribers, is that create your express entry profile as soon as possible. Get your ECA done, get your test of language done, and if you already have all this and your CRS score is still not, try as much as possible to up your CRS score, increase your CRS points. Another thing that I would do is that express entry right now is not as general as it used to be. Things have changed, times have changed. So you need to find out, because it's now category based, or look at what category of professions are they taking and find out what you can do. Another thing that you need to do, like it's just a bonus that I'm putting out there, is the French. The last French entry CRS score was 399. Just imagine 399. So when I tell people learn your French is very important. So you could add that to your budget. If you need to go to a French school, please do that. I did that. I went to Alliance Francaise. I'm not advertising for them. I'm just saying where I went to. For 5 months, every day I was doing it. So if you need to factor that into your course, do that now and give yourself the better chance to get an ITA or an invitation to come to Canada. Common mistakes that I see are people starting too late, underestimating the cost of what it takes to immigrate, and also overpaying agents for what I don't understand. And lastly, having no post-landing plan at all. You may want to argue with me when I say that immigration doesn't fail. What fails people is poor planning. Poor strategic planning is what fails people in achieving their immigration goals. And so if you want to watch more of these videos whereby you want realistic, not sugar-coated, overhyped stories, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're planning to immigrate to Canada in 2026, please comment 2026 and tell me what country you're coming from. What is your routes that you think you want to come? What's your family size? Share that with me. We might want to share and, guide you on what else to do to increase your chances and help you along the way. And remember, this channel is all about helping one another. For me, the better it is when you have people get right guidance, because mine would have been better. I would have gotten it better if I had someone like this to guide me right. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, where I come again with videos like this, where I break it down even more. And if you want to tell me what videos or what topics you want me to share with you, please put it in the comment section. I would love to read and also hear from you. Until next time, remember to stay rooted, stay real, stay you. Bye.